Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Amila and today I'm going to talk about a novel written by Jane Austen. Sense and Sensibility is the first published novel by Jane Austen, and this novel was published in 1811 and it's a British novel. This novel follows the lives of the Dashwood sisters named Elinor and Marianne Dashwood. Both sisters were literally very opposite of each other as Sense and Sensibility. The entire book is based on sense and sensibility, which means reason and emotion. I feel like the two sisters, Elinor and Marianne, because of how they react to the situation and what kind of personality they both have, they also play a very important part in the society as young girls who were very much dependent on the males in their family and surrounding. After their father's death, they both were very much economically uncertain, and their entire family, including their mother and the younger sister, they were three sisters, but the two elder sisters are highlighted the most, and the younger sister isn't displayed that much in the story. The main characters were the two girls and their fiancés, and maybe the people they were in love with. So Eleanor was in love with Edward Ferrars, whom she married later on, but Marianne was in starting in love with John Willoughby. He turned out to be a very different character from what he was shown in the starting of the novel, and basically he cheated later on to give a spoiler. And Marianne later on marries a man who was so much older than her, which was something that I didn't like because the age difference was insane. Like it was too much for the people like us. It was just very much age difference. Maybe at that time it was common, but it felt quite uncomfortable. Colonel Braden was someone that the younger sister got married to, and at the end they got a happy ending. And this novel is basically about the societal expectations, financial conditions, status, and class, because these were the most important thing in the 18th century. How women were so much dependent on just getting a proper, well settled marriage or partner so that they could live a luxurious life or a comfortable life. That's what the parents were always worried about, to find a proper partner for their daughters. As uh, till this date, I don't think much has changed, but I feel like the women in this generation are working so much on themselves and they're so much self-dependent and they want to earn and not to be dependent on the other person. That's the huge difference. And I feel like Jane Austen's work is so realistic and relatable, and I feel like I related to both of the sisters because they both had the qualities and very important to be reasonable and be in control and as well as be emotional and enthusiastic sometimes, which was like Eleanor felt like a very ideal character in the book, whereas Marianne was somewhere childish or overly dramatic. That's how it seemed to be. But Eleanor was just a very mature and wise character, which is something everybody would want to be like. A girl, being a girl, she was very self-sufficient. She took the wise decisions, and her reaction to the misfortunes and heartbreak was so different and so in control. Whereas her sister was just devastated by the heartbreak and the mishappenings that happened in her life, while both of the sisters were dealing with the worst. But Eleanor was so composed and so in control with the situation, whereas her sister was doing the opposite of her. I think that's the story about. And Eleanor was always there for her younger sister. Wherever she needed it, she was there for her at every moment, present for her, for giving emotional support to any kind of support that her sister needed. She was always standing by her sister. This novel also presents the great sisterhood between the two Dashwood sisters. And at the end, they got the happy ending they deserved, both of them. I feel like I would rate this book 9.5 out of 10 because it was such an amazing, realistic, relatable, and eye-opening book for the society. I feel like at that time, it must be not just how women were perceived at that time, but how they were looked at. So I think this was very important. So thank you for listening to me. I'll be back with the next novel. And till then, take care. Bye bye.